From the pages of WCW Magazine, November 1991, comes the official premiere issue of what would become World Championship Wrestling's most ambitious publishing project. With this first edition, the company boldly declares its independence from the legacy of Jim Crockett Promotions and the shadow of the departing Ric Flair. The issue opens with a letter from publisher Stanley Weston and editor-in-chief Craig Peters, welcoming fans to what they promise will be the best wrestling magazine on newsstands. Inside, the table of contents reads like a who's who of WCW's shifting landscape. El Gigante, the Steiner brothers, Lex Luger, the Yellow Dog, Dustin Rhodes, and Paulie Dangerously all take center stage in this heavily editorialized and personality-driven publication. The wrap-up section sets the tone, announcing the shocking departure of Ric Flair from WCW, a monumental shift that led to the world title being vacated just 2 weeks before the Great American Bash. WCW Executive Vice President Jim Herd thanks Flair for his past contributions, but it's clear from the tone that WCW is moving on with or without the Nature Boy. Meanwhile, a bizarre and brutal incident is recapped involving El Gigante being attacked by Kevin Sullivan and One Man Gang, who shaved the Gentle Giant's head after a savage post-match ambush. Gigante, now bald, promises revenge, declaring himself the Barber of Argentina and vowing to return the favor, scissors in hand. Another shocking segment describes Z-Man Tom Zenk being humiliated in the ring by Diamond Dallas Page and the Diamond Stud, who stripped Zenk of his clothes during an in-ring promo, prompting him to ally with Beautiful Bobby and Yellow Dog for retaliation. In another news item, Rick Steiner declares he will defend the World Tag Titles alone after Scott Steiner suffers a devastating shoulder injury from the Hardliners. Elsewhere, fans are given a heartfelt update on Magnum TA, who makes his official return to WCW. Not as a wrestler, but as a co-host with Tony Schiavone on Worldwide Wrestling. It's a full circle moment as Magnum discusses his recovery, his history with Nikita Koloff, and his heartbreak over Koloff's renewed villainy after attacking Lex Luger with a U.S. title belt. The magazine doesn't stop at news. It gives voice to the audience. The Fan Jam letter section sees fans turning on Ricky Morton for betraying Robert Gibson and joining the York Foundation. Several letters from Charlotte, Indianapolis, and Georgia express outrage, even calling Morton a traitor and a coward. Other readers ask about Missy Hyatt's treatment on television, praise Super Brawl 91's epic tag team, match between Sting, Luger, and the Steiners, and demand the return of Flying Brian, who may or may not be hiding under the Yellow Dog mask. Speaking of which, the mystery of the Yellow Dog is a recurring thread throughout the issue. Barry Windham, Flying Brian, and Yellow Dog all weigh in, each offering competing narratives, but fans and foes alike suspect the masked man is Pillman in disguise, skirting a loser leaves town stipulation. Feature columns follow, including Jim Ross's Ross Report, where he promotes his Wrestling with Jim Ross radio show on WSB, covering wrestling news and fan calls across 38 states. Tony Schiavone reflects on a wild night out in Chicago with Ric Flair and the Horsemen, sharing an unfiltered story of how the Nature Boy truly lives his gimmick, highlighting his charisma, stamina, and unmatched energy both in and out of the ring. Meanwhile, Magnum Speaks Out is an emotional essay where Magnum TA expresses his bitter disappointment over Nikita Koloff's recent actions, reflecting on their unlikely friendship following his 1986 car accident and declaring that Nikita will never change. There's a splash of chaos, too, as Kevin Sullivan gives a mystic, cryptic promo dripping with surreal language about the Tree of Woe, dark knowledge, and unleashing one-man gang upon WCW. In contrast, Missy Hyatt delivers her view, poking fun at Paulie Dangerously, Stan Hansen's tobacco habits, and her frustrations with locker room access, while hinting at her future involvement in the ring. Interactive content includes a WCW Championship Challenge, word search puzzle, and a Who Am I trivia quiz that ends with the reveal Lex Luger. Readers also get a superstar stat pack on Arn Anderson and an explosive rap poem by PN News, who launches a fan contest to win a trip to Halloween Havoc. In true WCW flair, the contest includes hotel, airfare, and VIP access, plus a chance to see the top stars in Chattanooga, Tennessee. The issue ends with an explosive danger zone from Paul E. Dangerously, and a warning that something devastating is coming for Missy Hyatt and Jason Hervey. This debut edition of WCW Magazine captures the heart of early 90s wrestling. Wild feuds, shifting alliances, bold characters, and a company trying to rebuild its identity after losing one of the greatest champions of all time. And if this trip through the premiere issue sparked a memory or made you want to hunt down your old collection, then do what wrestling fans do best: like, share, and subscribe. Because tomorrow we'll open another one, and From the Pages never stops.